And what we're seeing is that this rider is experiencing being included. But as a result of being included, it is providing everyone around them with so much joy in the sense that now the runner has purpose. I'm going to help this person cross this finish line and be included. The caregiver who spends all their time and energy caring for this person now can cheer them on, one, and two, they can have some respite. Can you imagine spending your every waking day caring for someone who otherwise can't service themselves, right? And now you get a break. Yeah. You get to cheer on your kid like you would cheer on your son playing baseball or your daughter at a recital. Now your child is an athlete. Yeah. That's huge.
That is huge.
And a 106-year-old grandfather, he was a triple great-grandfather. He got to get pushed by his great-great-great-grandson because the elder man, he was a runner back in the day and never in his wildest dreams did he think he'd ever run again. And the great-great-grandson never thought he'd have a chance to push his great-great-grandfather, but that day they got to do that. He passed away 3 or 4 weeks later.
That's awesome because that makes me think, that makes me realize that it's not just for kids or Ainsley's Angels. I mean, it's not just for kids. It's for everyone. Everyone can be included. Yeah.
That is right. My license plate on my truck says inclusion. It doesn't say inclusion for 2-year-olds, inclusion for 60-year-olds, inclusion for white people, black people, brown people. It says inclusion. Inclusion and diversity is the key to making this country be successful for another 200 years. Yeah, there may be some people that disagree with me out there on that, but I can tell you I've lived it and I've seen it. The second you diversify your spectrum, and the second you include everyone in your vision, and the second that we can all be treated in his eye, how he envisioned.
Yeah, man. That is awesome.
Yeah. I want to just ask you, like, with my brain injury, when I was in the hospital, my parents didn't want to expend any negative energy. And so I got attacked and I was hit in the head with a baseball bat, but my parents didn't go after the people that did it because they were more worried about me and my health. So is that kind of what this gives people, or what do you think the greatest gift it provides them?
Yeah. So first of all, I have to say December 15th, 2012 is probably a date that I'll remember now for my foreseeable future because I listened to episode 1 and I listened to the horrific events of that evening. And man, hats off to you for your persevering and for your resiliency that you're adapting and you're overcoming, and now your desire to share this goodness, the goodness that has come out of such a horrific event with the world. So thank you for that, Shane.
Yeah,
I will tell you the answer to your question, sir, is that this provides people an opportunity to be treated the way that they should be. It gives people the opportunity to be accepted and included. And we could have spent a lot of time and energy on trying to find out how we can cure Ainsley's disability, her dystrophy. Or we elected rather to spend our energies on the building of this family, to give people a place that they could go where they didn't have to worry about why he's in a wheelchair or why she's being fed through her stomach or why he's using AFOs, but rather they can celebrate the fact that we're all here together, and they don't have to worry about any of the negative or any of those things that becomes burdens to us every day. Because you all both know, we can dwell on the negatives.
Sure,
we can get really, really, really somber and sad really, really fast. And I think that when we do that, I think it's important because we have to heal, and that's part of the recognizing that hurts, right?
Sure.
But I also think that the longer you do that, the more you're just marking time. You're not moving forward.
So I heard in an interview you did with a local news station, Heath's actually sent it to me today, and you said you were talking about hospice care, and you said that's not a scary word. And I've thought the same thing with my grandpa was on hospice care, and you just don't really realize what they do. So Can you kind of talk about with us what hospice is all about?
Yes, I'd be honored to. I think prior to my exposure to hospice, I thought it was a bad word. And you hear that all the time. That, oh, grandma's going on hospice care. And it's always said with a negative twist.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be clear. Hospice care does imply that medically it's been determined that you're at the end of life and you're coming up on it. So we can choose to say hospice is a bad word because it coincides with the end of life. Or we can choose to say there's this wonderful gift called hospice that is going to make sure that our loved ones can focus on the good things in life before they transition. And so for us, hospice gave us an opportunity to be linked up with professionals who were familiar with end-of-life processes, and they were able to help us take away the burdens. You know, if you're not on hospice and you're a 13-year-old child and you pass away in your home, the police come and it's a crime scene investigation.
Yeah, right.
Didn't even think
but if
of
you're
that.
on hospice, exactly, right? And I wouldn't have either. Because I had visions of what it would look like the day she passed. And one thing I was terrified of is the police guy here and the ambulance guy here. But none of that happened. She passed away in her sleep. Hospice showed up immediately when my wife called them. They walked us through the process. They helped us. My wife would not have thought to take an imprint of Ainsley's foot or hand in that moment after death. But hospice mentioned it as something she could do. I don't know that my wife would have cut Ainsley's ponytail. She still keeps it today and occasionally takes it out and snips it, right? Yeah. Because it reminds her of all the beauty that Ainsley is and was. Yeah, and so these are things hospice can provide after death. But even before death, they expose you to concepts and ideas, and they provide you with immediate assistance for things that you would not have thought of. And I've only spoken just now of assistance hospice provides to the caregiver. The help that hospice gives to the patient is astronomically amazing. Yeah, right. They came to our home, Santa Claus on the back of a fire truck. We can't take Ainsley to go sit on Santa's lap at the mall. She's delicate.
That's awesome.
So Santa Claus on the fire truck, they came here, and they came to see her. That was in December 2015. Yeah. You know, 53 days later, she passed away. But because of hospice exposing us to these things, we were having an opportunity for Ainsley to really live her best last days. Yeah. Yeah. That's my effort. I'm trying to answer it. I hope that helps.
Yeah. That explains it lot better than what people normally think about hospice, I feel like. Yeah.
I could give you so many examples of things that hospice was able to provide for us that we would have never found on our own in those last days. So, I could speak to that. In fact, there's a whole YouTube video out there on Angels YouTube, but I don't want to get off topic. If somebody's interested about learning a different vision on hospice and they hear it today, they just got to search Angels. Hospice is not a bad word.
So,
pitch on that.
Cool. What is your website?
It's really simple. Ainsley'sAngels.org.
Okay.
AinsleyAngels.org. Okay. And from there, you'll find our charity's website. But of course, we're active on Instagram as Ainsley's Angels and Facebook, and of course YouTube. For anybody that would like to get connected. So while you ask me that, let me say this: if you're listening right now and you know anybody that is unable to accomplish a 5K on their own, we would love the opportunity to help provide the equipment and the able-bodied person. Yeah. If you're the able-bodied person and you know someone who needs some help, contact us and we can help you get the equipment. We have share grant programs, share purchase programs, giveaways. And if you live by one of our local areas, we already do all the legwork where we contact race directors, get permission to be in the race, and put together the whole deal. COVID is COVID, right? So there's not a lot of races right now. Yeah. But there's nothing stopping you from going for a run with your loved one. And it doesn't need to be a loved one either. Just to be clear, the runner can be someone like Heath who says, I want to run and push others so they can experience what Paisley and I did. Yeah. Or it can be someone like Heath who pushes his daughter. Yeah. Right? It could be either one of you, John.
Yeah. Dude, I'd do it. Yeah. I'll run.
So that
Shane, I know you're still working on, you got knee brace and AFOs, and at one point your goal was to walk full laps, and you were inspired by seeing the smile and the laughter on your personal helper there. That was the doctor, the nurse. That's the same thing, man. It's the same. When I heard you say that, I was like, you're describing what Anthony Angels does.
Yeah. So that reminds me, we're putting on a virtual 5K that we would love for you to be a part of. If you are interested and want to sign up, we're going to have the sign-ups on our website, ironwill.us. And so just be looking out for that.
November 7th?
Yes. And the race is going to be November 7th.
I'll be right next to Shane.
Yep. Just walking.
So what's the plan for that? It's going to be a walk for the two of you?
Yeah, we have a few people here, local, that we're going to do it with. And there's a bunch of other people out of state, things like that, that'll be a part of it as well.
Yep. Kevin Hooker just told me he was going to walk with Heath for the 5K. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Love it.
That's awesome. But if anybody local, I was just going to say, if anybody local, I'm willing to push somebody if they, I'd do that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be a little chilly.
We'll keep it.
In November,
so y'all are in Utah.
Utah. Yeah, November in Utah. It'll be a little chilly that day, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
Hopefully it rains.
Yeah.
Shane, are you able to run at this point? Where are you at? Are you walking with assistance?
I could probably run like not very far, like a minute tops. And so
the last time that you ran was 8 years ago.
Yep. Yeah.
So how much do you weigh? You mind sharing with your listeners how much you weigh?
215.
Okay.
Solid muscle, bro.
Yeah. So John, how much do you weigh, and do you think you could push Shane?
I could push Shane. I weigh 180, but I could push Shane.
So I think what would be really cool, Shane, and it would require you having an open mind to experiencing it, is if we can get Shane running again with the assistance of John and a chair, and y'all can go run together, whether it's 1 mile, 2 miles, or a 5K, and just experience that wind back in your face, man, and John helping your friend out. I think that would be a beautiful thing that we could orchestrate together. So
yeah, man.
For sure. Think about it, Shane.
Okay.
Shane, because I know it takes you accepting that someone else is going to be your legs for that run, and mentally, emotionally, that's probably difficult. I bet.
Yeah, that would be really hard for me, because like before I was in the National Guard, and we would have like 2 mile runs for PT test, and if anyone ran up behind me and got close to me, I would just sprint, and that's my mindset. Yeah.
But Shane, we've been through some stuff. We're good, man. I think I could do that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Shane, I just invite you to explore your insides and think about that and reflect upon it, because I do know it would give John great joy to help you run again.
Yeah.
And who knows, man, maybe this could be the impetus for even more motivation to where you could get to where you could go even further on your own.
Yeah.
And maybe you could start off out of the chair for a minute, then get in the chair for a minute, and then out of the chair. And who knows, Shane, maybe in 3 years you're running a 5K again.
Yeah, buddy.
Who knows?
That's the goal. That's been my goal for a long time. I wanted to get into trail running. So that's been my goal for a long time. So.
Well, maybe that's why we're meeting today. Maybe the IronWill meeting here, talking amongst 3 friends, is really all about getting you further on your road to physical recovery.
Yeah.
Because I think we can get there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And if we could play a small part in that journey, it would give us honor. At the same time, Shane, I'm not pushing it on you.
Yeah,
I respect you. I respect you. So.
Yeah. Well, do you guys know if? Well, I've seen some. And I had a friend that had one, but I don't know if you know of where to purchase them. But I've seen trail like chairs, like ones that have like big wheels that are, like kind of, it almost look like a 3-wheeler tire
like
kind of
people
thing.
hunting on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I absolutely know where you can get one, and